Here's the man who positively impacts millions of people every day, and he's beaming love your way right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Santisi.
Welcome back, dreamers, seekers, and astral travelers. I'm your host, Paul Santisi, and you're tuned in to another episode of the Beyond Your Body podcast, the show that dares to ask the big questions and over-delivers even bigger truths. Today, we're tackling a question that's been buzzing in the spiritual community for centuries. Can anyone astral project? Or is it reserved for the spiritually gifted? Stick around, because by the end of this episode, not only will you have your answer, but you'll also be ready to take your first step or float into the astral realm. Ready? Let's do this. Let's start off with something strong. Here's the truth that no one tells you. You are born to astral project. It's not a superpower for the chosen few. It's a natural ability. Think about it. Your dreams, your intuition, those moments of deja vu, those are all hints from the universe saying, hey, you've got this inside of you. And astral projection, think of it. Astral projection is like learning to whistle. Some people get it right away, and others need a lot of practice. The difference? Belief and consistency. And beyond that, will and desire. You see, most people don't succeed because they think they can't. But let me tell you, if you're listening to this podcast, you're already halfway there. Why? Because you're open to the possibility, and that's all the universe needs to work with. Don't go anywhere, as things are about to pick up.
This episode is brought to you by PaulSantisiUniverse.com. Treat yourself to some of the best free downloads that you will ever come across. With audios on luck, money, the law of attraction, the mind's eye, and free courses on thoughts and emotions, Paul Santisi gives more free life-changing content than anyone else on the planet. Visit PaulSantisiUniverse.com and download them all right now while they are still free. Now, back to the show.
Before we go deeper, let me remind you of a powerful tool that thousands of people worldwide have used to unlock their astral potential. My guided meditations on YouTube. These just aren't meditations. They're a gateway, a cosmic key to help you connect with your infinite self. If you've been trying and failing, you must try my guided meditations, as they will deliver real results that others wish they could duplicate. Just go to YouTube, just search Paul Santisi Astral Projection, pick one. There is many different ones to choose from, and get ready for the experience of a lifetime. Now, I have some questions that I want to answer that listeners have sent in, but before I do that, I have a story to share with you that you will find fascinating. It's about one of my wildest astral projection experiences. And it started like any other night. I was lying in bed, completely still, and I was actually listening to one of my own astral projection meditations. Suddenly, I felt that familiar vibration, that hum. My body was telling me that I'm about to go beyond. And before I knew it, I was floating above my house, and I was looking down at the roof, the streetlights, and even my neighbor's dog was barking as it looked up at me in the sky. But then, something incredible happened. I thought about my childhood home back in Boston, the place where I felt happiest and I felt the safest. And in an instant, I was there. And I could smell the must of the walls, as the house was built in 1806 and it belonged to a shoemaker at the time who loved to hide stuff in the walls that we would find, like shoe parts and tools. And he also had a pet cemetery in the backyard. So finding horseshoes, horse and pig bones, that was something that I always thought was normal. And I even saw the old barn that I used to keep my bike in. And I could even hear my old neighbor, his name was Doc, and he was always yelling at the rocks in his yard because on the other side of the fence, he was always drinking. He was a real sloppy drunk, this guy. Here's the thing. It wasn't just a memory. It was like I was really there, reliving it, feeling the emotions of that time in my life. And when I returned to my body, I had tears in my eyes, not from sadness, but from the deep understanding that we can all revisit these moments. We can connect with them and bring that peace into our present lives. It reminded me that astral projection isn't just about flying through the stars or seeing new worlds. Sometimes it's about finding and rediscovering the parts of ourselves that we had thought we lost. Now, let's dive into some questions, some of the most common questions I get about astral projection. Number 1, can anyone really do it? Or are some people just not built for it? I say everyone can do it. Period. End of story. Think of it like this. If you have ever daydreamed, if you ever have felt a strange pull before falling asleep, if you've ever had a vivid dream or deja vu, you've already touched on the edges of the astral realm. Number 2, why is it so hard for some people to astral project? The answer is most people try too hard. They try to force it to happen. They think it's about doing, but it's actually about allowing. It's about letting go of your grip on the physical and trusting your spirit to guide you. Also beyond that, most people's vibrations are all whacked out, and they're whacked out from processed foods, drugs, pills, too much seed oil consumption, stresses, and prescription drugs. And all of these things affect your ability to feel. And if you can't feel it, it gets harder to know where you are from an energetic standpoint, right? It becomes more difficult to observe yourself. Now, if anything, for those of you who are struggling with the astral projection, I would recommend you ditch the pop. Ditch the soda and drink plenty of good clean water, as clean water is magical. And we'll talk more about how to infuse your water with intentions, and we'll leave that for another upcoming show. Try that. See how far you can then proceed. Number 3, what if I get scared? Look, fear is natural. It's your mind's way of saying, hey, this is new. But here's the secret. Fear is just excitement that hasn't been directed, right? Look, you're safe. You are safe. You are always tethered to your body by a powerful energetic connection like a cosmic umbilical cord that many refer to as the silver cord. Those were some great questions, and don't go anywhere as I have a big I have a big update to share with you in just a moment.
This episode is brought to you by Paul Santisi Universe.com. Treat yourself to some of the best free downloads that you will ever come across. With audios on luck, money, the mind's eye, and free courses on thoughts and emotions, Paul Santisi gives more free life-changing content than anyone else on the planet. Visit paulsantisiuniverse.com and download them all right now while they are still free. Now back to the show.
Now, here we are, show number 5 of the Beyond Your Body podcast. The number 5 has some very powerful meanings and vibrations behind it. The number 5 holds powerful vibrational significance across cultures, symbolizing change, freedom, and balance. In numerology, it represents adaptability and personal growth, encouraging exploration and transformation. Historically, many cultures revered it for its connection to the physical and spiritual realms. Ancient Egypt, the five senses and the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, were sacred, symbolizing harmony between the earthly and divine. And in ancient Greece, the Pythagoreans saw five as a symbol of human form and divine knowledge, with the pentagram representing spiritual energy. China, the five elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, embody balance and interconnection, vital for health and harmony. Even in Islam, the five pillars of Islam guide spiritual practice, emphasizing balance and devotion. Now, in today's world, the number five's vibrational energy can guide personal transformation in astral projection practices. The power of five encourages you to break free from old limitations and embrace new possibilities. And by meditating or focusing on five elements, like five goals or sensations, you can align with its energy, inviting change and growth into your life. To incorporate astral projection, visualize yourself expanding into five distinct dimensions, or focus on 5 points in your energy field, allowing your consciousness to transcend the physical and explore new realms of awareness. This alignment with the number 5 enhances your journey, offering spiritual freedom and deeper self-discovery. Then, now pay attention, when you listen to many of my guided meditations, you will notice that I either count to 5 or I count down from 5. Now, you know why. Okay, let's dig into some testimonials that might just blow your mind. Dylan says, I've always wanted to astral project but never could. Then I found Paul's Meditations Astral Portal on YouTube, and within minutes I felt the vibrations and I floated out of my body and into the portal for the first time. Melinda says, Paul's voice is a spiritual GPS. I followed his instructions and boom, I was soaring over my neighborhood in less than a week. Then we have a message from Addison. Addison says, I never thought I could do it, but Paul reminded me it's not about being special, it's about being human and knowing why I wanted to astral project. And he was right. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for opening up a whole new world. And look, I love these stories. This is why I put them in each show. When you have your own story to share, drop it in the comments. And I look forward to hearing your success story with my guided meditations. Now, let's get a little controversial, shall we? There's a pervasive myth out there that astral projection is only for the enlightened or the spiritually gifted. Now, let me call that out for what it is. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And here's the truth. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. The ability to astral project is your birthright. You don't have to be a guru. You don't have to be a yogi. You don't have to be a shaman or someone who can meditate for hours. You just have to be you. But, and here's the kicker, you need to believe it's possible. You see, skepticism is the biggest roadblock. Trust me, I've been there. But once you let go of it, once you let go of that doubt, the universe opens up in ways that you can't even imagine. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Paul Santisi Universe.com. Treat yourself to some of the best free downloads that you will ever come across. With audios on luck, money, the law of attraction, the mind's eye, and free courses on thoughts and emotions. Paul Santisi gives more free life-changing content than anyone else on the planet. Visit paulsantisiuniverse.com and download them all right now while they are still free. Now, back to the show.
So, can anyone astral project? The answer is yes. What you do need is the desire, the belief, and the willingness to practice. You see, astral projection is a skill, not a privilege. And like any skill, it gets easier the more you do it. Here's my challenge to you tonight. Here's my challenge. Tonight, before bed or after you wind down for today, go to YouTube, type in my name, Paul Santisi, and then type in astral projection and pick one of the meditations that catches your eye and press play. Close your eyes and I will guide you along through the rest. Relax, breathe, and let go of your doubts. You might just surprise yourself. Also, make sure you go to the new home of everything Paul Santisi, at paulsantisiuniverse.com. That's paulsantisiuniverse.com. And go grab all of the free audios and courses that I have available. All of these are not on YouTube, but you can have them for free. And do it now. Do it now while they are all still free. There's audios on luck, money, energy, intuition, dreaming, the mind's eye, thoughts, emotions, the collective consciousness, and so much more. There's even some $199 courses there right now that you can have for free. Plus, at paulsantisiuniverse.com, you'll find a bunch of other life-changing content, such as there's motivational videos, there's music, interviews, and other personal development and spiritual awareness content that you can apply in your life to change your life fast. And don't forget to share this podcast with others. Plus, I invite you to share your experiences with me in the comments or on social media. And look, I say this over and over again, but it's true. I love hearing your success stories. And you never know, your questions or comment may be featured on an upcoming show. Remember, you are more than your body. You are infinite, you are powerful, and you are capable of so much more than you've ever been told. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, keep exploring the incredible potential of your mind. This is Paul Santisi signing off from the Beyond Your Body Studios. You know I love ya.